Am I here? I'm here. Yay, I did it. Okay, let's show Instagram what the hell they're missing. I did it. I did it. All right, so I I did this whole pre-recorded video thing that I was gonna post, but I think it was just good to get like a run through before I really start posting stuff on YouTube. And then I was like, you know what? Screw it. Just go live. And then when you're done talking, you can just take it, you can just hop off, and then it'll just be there forever. And then people will know that this is how you are in life. And then whatever. What's up here? What's up? Got 222, Geraldine. What's up, babe? Hello, how are you? Okay. Yeah, okay. I came to the conclusion that I think everything that I've been through, I'm supposed to tell people, right? And then people are supposed to take this information and then you're supposed to and then I think people are supposed to take these stories and they're supposed to do something with them. I don't know. I don't know. So let's just do this shit together. Okay. I am a survivor of compounding forms of abuse. Verbal, physical, domestic violence, sexual abuse, child abuse that I've experienced, all that. So, I don't know. I've just been really invested in the healing process. And it's hard. It's hard. And I think maybe showing people parts of the process is gonna help. I hope it does. So I'm in therapy, right? I'm in therapy for survivors of child sexual abuse. And I was raped and molested as a child. The things that like make this process hard, there are so many of them. One thing that like I'm dealing with right now is like running into people who survived the same but aren't working on the healing process and don't think there's anything to heal from. And then they get like real judgy when like I mention that I'm in therapy for it because they're like, oh girl, everybody go through that. And I'm like, that's not a world I want to live in. So yes, let's do this. Let's do this all together. So I'm in therapy and I get to be around a lot of like really dope survivors and they have some amazing survivor stories and they have some just amazing insight about growth and about healing. And it's just a great space where I can feel mad and be angry or like I can totally crumble and nobody in the room is judging. Everybody understands. They all know like this is all a part of the process and they're here for it. Last week, I just had a really rough day. Like therapy just hit too close to home. And I mean, it's therapy, it is home, right? But the subject matter was just like so like uncomfortable for me. And last week's conversation was about like preparing yourself for disclosing to anyone. And God, I wish I would have read that chapter. I wish I would have. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I wish I would have read that chapter before last year, but it's actually so good that things happen the way that they did. So as y'all know, like I am not, I'm not very close with my family right now because of a lot of factors, and it's still very sensitive. So I'm gonna try my hardest not to really talk about it right now until I'm ready. But that topic last week really just it messed me up because I wish I would have known a little bit better how to create safer boundaries for myself, you know. in closing, but you live and you learn. And because I have lived through not being prepared for the disclosing part and process and knowing how debilitating it is not having those tools and safeguards in place, at least I can tell somebody else, like, absolutely tell your story. But when people say tell your story when you're ready, they don't mean like tell your story when you can say the words. On top of the when you're ready part, it's also having safe spaces where you can go in case all hell breaks loose. Because, and it's especially if you're disclosing to your family something about sexual trauma, like some family members are going to react like you're going to be like, it's going to be crazy sometimes. Some families are going to be so warm and like loving and be like, I'm so sorry that happened to you. I wish I would have known. I love you so much. How can I help you? And then some family members are going to, and then you know what? And that's another thing, like, you know your family also. So don't forget is what I mean to say. Is because sometimes the information is so shocking that they'll want to respond in a Lifetime family movie way. And you're like, oh, great, this is going to work out. But remember that you know them. Yeah. So not having, I had enough of the safeguards in place, but had I read that chapter, I probably would have approached it a little bit more logically. If I could go back, I would have set myself up on a better like regimen, like in life. And then I would have disclosed and I would have had something to go back to. But the crazy thing about like growth and trauma is that you don't have that knowledge, like even in life, you don't have that knowledge until you're in the fourth quarter and you got to play, you got to perform, you know? I'm a rapper, right? I'm a songwriter. And this trauma literally sits on the creative part of my brain. It like suffocates it. It's so big, it takes up so much space in my body that I sometimes struggle to just get into my creative zone and be where I need to be so that I can create. And I think I'm gonna read some stuff to y'all. Y'all wanna hear some stuff? I think y'all wanna hear some stuff. This has been so long. I wrote this a couple months ago. Do y'all want to hear some stuff? I don't know. Like, y'all watching me, so I don't know if y'all like. Okay, thank you. There, was like, go, okay. Okay, let me see. Where the hell is it? I wrote like a whole thing, and it was like so good, and I was like crying, and it was like, where is it? This is so frustrating because it was like so good, and I read it to DJ Show, but like, I wrote this thing. I'll find it later. I've written this thing. I really want to find it now. We all stay until I find it. Like, we all stay. I hope you stay until I find it. I hope no one's like, you old slow searching ass. You know, I hope y'all really just like are patient with me because I don't know where it is. It's such a good thing that I'm so happy that I wrote, but I can't find it. Not that. Is it this? No, but that's a good verse too. Oh, is this it? No, but it's good. No, that's not it. Oh, is this it? Nope. Is this it? Nope. Stay as long as y'all want to, but I gotta find it. Oh, is this is it. Okay. I found it. Y'all are so sweet and you all waited. Thank you. Okay. Um, I don't remember how that part goes. Okay, y'all, but I'm gonna just read it. All right, I ain't about to fake cry with you. I know reality bites back and you gotta fight back, but I be feeling sick of being sad when the world is in your hand and all you want is dad to be a better man. Can you take a hit? Is how you know it's real. Like, will I love you even after all my bruises heal? Will I love you when you throw my sis into a fridge? Will I love you if I never let you meet my kids? I grew up feeling stuck in a little cage. When I'm in the world, all I feel is the fucking rage. Can't communicate because we never on the same page. I be speaking facts and you speak a whole nother language. They say I can't change the past, gotta learn from it. I guess we both gotta grow up. These are my emotions and I never get a chance to sit with them. They hit hard like a daddy with a bad temper. So, right? It was just like this little bit that I was writing to myself. And it's funny because around the same time that I wrote it, Daryl Dion, who's in here, was like encouraging me to write about the things, and even in rereading it, like all these feelings like come up and they're just, it's a lot. But I know, even when it hurts and even when it's like uncomfortable and even when it's like stressful, I know it's necessary. Like Daryl Dion will tell you, I go there. Like I go there. I can go there. But something just keeps me here. I don't know. And I keep meeting women that disclose to me. Oh, thank you. I keep meeting women that are like disclosing to me their experiences. And like even as a kid, I remember hearing the stories in the Bible. And even if I took it with a grain of salt, because as a kid, I was like skeptical, obvious. Like even when I took everything else with a grain of salt, the feeling, like the fact of knowing that at some point in the earth's existence, there was an energy force here that cared about all people and wanted all people to be able to exist. Can y'all hear me? Because I actually just realized, did that change sound at all for y'all? Because I just realized my headphones are plugged in and I don't know if that affected sound. But anyway, even like at some point in the Earth's existence, there was an entity that wanted people to exist like as they are. May they be alcoholics, prostitutes, whatever, as long as you are not harming other people and you want the betterment, just in that interaction with a person to go and be amicable, that entity exists at some point. And all of the stories that go along with this entity, this force of like love, right? They all have these energy exchanges. May it be a burning bush or it's a whole sea being parted. At some point, there's this like energy exchange, right? Something about my healing is bringing women to me. There's something about what I've been through, either in my past life, I have no clue, but it's bringing women to me. And it's so ironic because I remember being in high school being like, I don't even like girls. I don't even like it. I was one of those. I definitely was one of those. I played on the varsity basketball team and I only hung out with studs. That was my thing. Thank you. I appreciate it. So much. Blah, blah, blah. But like, I don't know, something happened. And you know what? I think the very nature of not wanting to deal with women is the very reason why God has put me in this position. Because as a kid, it wasn't that I didn't want to deal with women. I think it was that I had experienced so many traumatized women and I wasn't ready to address my trauma. And the first job I had, like full-time job I had out of college, was working with women who survived DV. And I was a DV survivor who had not gone through therapy for surviving DV. So like, of course I don't want to deal with them because I don't deal with myself. A bar. Thank you so much. Tell your friends, tell your people, tell your friends. And so like, maybe that's what it is. Like, I don't know. Like the more I go through this process, the ups and the crazy downs, and the downs are crazy, not in a bad way. I say crazy in like they're sometimes unexpected, and they take so much energy to control. People have to keep this in mind. And DJ Show and I talk about this a lot. Y'all have to keep this in mind, right? When someone's going through a healing process, it's not just like it's fixed. It's not like that. Even if it's something you just healed, you thought you healed from the week before, the year before, if you don't get to the end of the feeling, like all of the feelings, you got to get to the very end of it, the sadness, till when you cry, your chest doesn't feel like it's on fire. Like if when you cry about that thing, it still burns in your body, you are not healed. You're not. You have to get it all out. And because people often don't have the time, the space, the support, the resources to get to the end of the feeling, it sits in them and it stays in them, right? So I constantly try to push to the end of the feeling. And because I've never gotten a chance to get to the end of what the healing process for whatever that thing is, now that I'm navigating it, it is so foreign. It feels like in my body, today I told someone my body feels like the inside of a lava lamp. It's like everything is just like hot and mushy, and it's just like it's all over the place. It's contained, but it just feels like everything feels like that right now. And I just try to push through it. I have to push through it. Like I have to keep going. There are some perks. So I guess maybe what I'll just start doing is I like live. I tried to do the scripted video thing where I recorded, and then I was like, maybe I'll go back and edit it. That bitch was 30 minutes long. So maybe I'll just stick with the lives for now, and then whoever want to hang out will hang out, and then we'll get this stuff later. But like 30 minutes, and you want to edit it to what? To 10? YouTube? Can I pay somebody to do it for me? I don't know. I'll figure it out later because this shit is stressful. But yeah, I like the YouTube format a little bit better, and then maybe I'll just like pop in and like let y'all know what today was like, and maybe I'll do stuff like that because that's easier for me right now than trying to stress myself out with like the fancy schmancy zips of YouTube. I'm not there yet. What I will say, some perks, some things that I'm trying. So one thing that I'm trying is I just started sketching. I have no idea, I think people don't try things because they're afraid they're not good at them. I don't know if I'm not good at sketching because I enjoy the time that I have when I do it. So I got this like fly sketchbook. I wish I had it in here. It's not, but it's like this fly sketchbook, and it has like these huge, it's like a zoomed in picture of these oil majiggers, or little paint oil squeezy thingies. Tubes, and it's like zoomed in, it's like paint all smashed on it, but it's all colorful and it's pretty and it's really huge. And I got that for like $6 at DD's. And then I got these sketching pencils. It came with a sharpener, eraser, multiple pencils, and these charcoal sticks, and that came for like $3. So for like $10, I got a therapeutic hobby that I am not skilled in. I know that I am not skilled in it. I know that I don't have formal training in it, but the process of doing it calms me, it relaxes me. I can do it for like an hour and a half and just be like, you know what I mean? So that's something that I'm trying, and that is working. I got to get back into the gym because I was going hard. Then I had a little gym injury. So, hey, DJ Show.
Hey, what's up, brother?
Thank you.
Yeah.
This episode is brought to you by Zapp's. These are really like the best chips on the planet. Yeah, so that sketching is working. Getting back into the gym, I gotta do that because I actually it felt good to use the gym as like, I was punishing the gym by being there. I'd be like, ooh, I'm gonna take this rage to the gym, and I'm a treadmill, I'm about to walk on your ass. Like, that's genuine. I know it sounds corny, but when I would get upset over the last like month or so, I'd drive to the gym. I would just go to the gym and be like, I'm just gonna put on this Nipsey Hussle, and I'm gonna just be here because whatever. And then I love Planet Fitness, Because even if people are in there judging you, there's so many signs around that's like no judgment zone and free be fat and lose weight zone. Like, okay, like I love it. So that's the thing. Just do it. Sketching is a calming thing. I did it on dialysis. Yes. Thank you. See, it is. See, I'm not the only one that chooses sketching as an outlet. What else am I trying? The last few days, just because of all of last week, I've given myself the time to sleep in. I've just stopped giving myself expectations for like a few days, like 5 days. I just like pulled back. Like I didn't go to the gym because I was on an arm brace and all that stuff. It's like I'm just gonna pull back for a second, and I think I'm ready to start back going to the gym slowly but surely, just because I have to give myself a chance, you know. Yeah. So I'm working it out, baby steps, baby steps. But I appreciate y'all for tuning in. Like, is there anything y'all want to ask me before I leave? Like, y'all are in here and y'all been so patient this whole time. I'm so grateful. Anything y'all want to ask me before I leave? I started writing again, haven't done it since I was like 10. I actually need to get back into my my poetry writing also. I revisited a poem that I wrote in 2013. Y'all wanna hear it? Y'all wanna hear it? Shh. That dog really be barking. He really be barking. Okay, would y'all like to hear this poem that I wrote? I wrote another thing that's going on that's also working. So, okay, yes, I'm gonna read it. It just loaded. And a lot of the stuff that I'm gonna go live about, like off top, we talking healing, we talking traumas. So I just need to make that clear. We talking healing, we talking traumas. Fun fact, making beats is therapy, try it. You have the equipment. Yep, I do. And I do have, yep, yep, okay. So yeah, yesterday I was invited to therapy, another therapy class that I don't normally attend. And it was for women who have survived like miscarriages, stillbirth. In 2013, I experienced a miscarriage, and it was just very traumatizing because I was 24 and just like I was a baby, you know. That one was very painful. Like all of my miscarriages have been painful, but that one, I think because I was further along, so it was like the furthest along I'd ever gotten, and I was like very much in pain. Okay, it's called Phoenix. God, it's been so long. I found myself crying in the shower 4 days later. I am not okay. Most of my downtime has been spent trying to remember how I felt before the flood, or wondering how I let it happen. Something in me promised next time, like I can play for keeps. Mostly I just find it unfair to wither without want. My dreams have been vivid and exhausting. I thought about exes and first loves, what ifs and nevers, wondering what they would have done if they knew I was dying. I feel like dying, like drinking and driving. This has turned into feeling like crying, but I won't cry. Even though I should, I save that for lonely showers and just before bed. I save that for poems. I haven't eaten all week. I am not okay. There was no sense of urgency. Feeling wretched enough already. Don't need doctors prodding and poking to know where my wounds are. My sister keeps asking me if I'm sure. She wants to know the truth. This is her nature, to want answers, demand facts, but I will not bottle blood for her. I will not test tube or chemistry playset my loss. My mother is more affectionate than ever. She hugs me like she finally regrets the 24 years of ignored abuse and turned heads. She's looking at me and not through me for the first time. Couldn't bring myself to tell her I was not okay. Since I'm conditioned myself to shrug, I couldn't tell her I've been crying every night, that the boy has left town, that he ain't coming back, that he packed himself small enough to carry on, ready to flee when there was no purpose in fighting, like I never spread myself thin for him, pulled myself apart for this boy. I didn't tell mama he skipped town, I just shrugged again. I told the boy I've been crying. He thinks he's talking to the old me, the girl who does not break, reminded me of the walls I built so high and rigid. I reminded him of the door I showed him to get to the other side, reminded this boy that I only broke for him. He just tells me it wasn't my time, insists I'm not barren, never claims any direct emotional involvement. Things are moving in slow motion. I've forgotten today's date, too hurt to move forward, no desire to heal. I now cry because it feels right, but only when the door is closed. Don't want anybody to hear my sorrow, hear me mourning for dead children. I've grown tired of the sad looks and promises that I've done nothing wrong. Like I needed to be reminded that bad things happen to good people. I know I'll be okay. This doesn't define me. This only helps find me in a pile of tissues and a trash can full of any reminder in my shower between tears. I promise to be more careful with who I give my body to next time, because next time I may want to play for keeps. We will both be in love. We'll love each other out loud and in color. He will make no excuse for his absence. He will be there. He will not tell me he does not love me. He will love me out loud in color and will root himself like all great things do when they want to stay. So that was, damn, that was heavy. Like, IDK, y'all. So y'all basically rocked with me for half an hour, and y'all heard a verse and a poem I have not read in a very long time. So yeah, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I do need to go back to poetry. I do. And I will. And I am. Because literally saying that like felt so good. So this was therapy. I love y'all a lot. Subscribe. And what do I tell people? Subscribe, like, share, comment, Cash App, Venmo. Should I just give y'all my login to my bills? Here, I'm gonna just DM everybody the login and y'all can just pay my bills because my phone bill is due, so. All right, y'all. This has been real. I'm about to eat my zaps and watch a movie. I appreciate y'all a lot. It's been real. Thank you. Okay, I'm gonna do this again. Okay, bye.